A network can then be thought of as a series of layers, one on top of the other, representing different parts of the network architecture. Inside each layer are clusters, points, and routes, representing the individual units and structures. Using this framework, Comsof Fiber can break down the large problem of design a network into design a layer, and then design a cluster, component parts small enough to be feasibly examined and solved on a laptop. These parts are added up back into the whole, resulting in a network design. The more complete your understanding of this process, the more effective will be your translation of an architecture into Comsof Fiber Designer concepts, and therefore the more efficient and accurate the result. Comsof Fiber Designer works from the bottom up, starting at the customer level and working its way up towards the central serving point of the design. Each layer is created in turn, semi-independently of the others. Because of this, as each layer is calculated, it can take into account works which have happened on the layers below, for example trenching, but not those above, as they have yet to be examined. Each layer is broken up into smaller pieces to calculate, according to settings made in the rules. Starting at the outside edge of the design area, a set of locations to be provided service, for example customer sites, is analyzed in the context of those settings and the input data, and grouped together in a cluster. This cluster represents the area a piece of equipment might plausibly provide service to while remaining within constraints imposed by the user in the rules. Next, the location for the point in that cluster is determined. This is the origin of service for this particular cluster. Again, the selection is guided by the rules generated by the user, in particular costs which have been entered, and the data describing the area. Once that is finalized, Comsof Fiber Designer works on resolving the optimal routes for cables and ducts between that point and the locations to which it provides service. This too is governed by the rules operating on the available data. At this stage, one entire cluster has been completed. The software moves on, finds another set of locations to be provided service, and begins the process again. When all service locations have been clustered, the layer is finished. Comsof Fiber Designer moves on to the next layer up. The points which were providing service in the previous layer are now the points to be provided service in this new layer. The cycle repeats until the central serving point is reached.